dare you?
Let's see, Miss Jada Pickett. Let's see what she got to say about the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith situation.
This is a really important red table talk on alopecia. Considering what I've been through with my own health and what happened at the Oscars, thousands have reached out to me with their stories. I'm using this moment to give our alopecia family an opportunity to talk about what it's like to have this condition and to inform people about what alopecia actually is. Now, about Oscar night, my deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. The state of the world today, we need them both. And we all actually need one another more than ever. Until then, Will and I are continuing to do what we have done for the last 28 years. And that's keep figuring out this thing called life together. Thank you for listening.
There you go.
That was so crazy.
She put out a nice little heartwarming, not apology, but just kind of a, wrap up, kind of, okay, that's it. Don't talk about it anymore.
Mm-hmm. When did this come out?
This came out like recently.
Yeah. I feel like it should have been like sooner.
Yeah.
I feel like the media kind of wanted to hear from her.
I didn't even know that came out. Like, this is my first time seeing this.
Yeah, man. But girls be making us go through it. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you think? Do you think she should have like came out and like defended her man, or do you what's your opinion?
I don't think
like,
obviously he should have slapped him. Like, yeah, that was messed up what he said. But I did hear. So I listened to this other podcast, and there's the girl the podcast girl. She actually went to the Oscars. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I was able to like hear like the back end, the behind the scenes type situation. And basically what she was saying was like it was super awkward, like, and she was saying that like the scripts that are said like in the show, it's already approved. So like what he said was already approved. And so,
but not by her, or by
probably not by them, just like by the writers.
Sure,
or whatever.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with the joke, him saying that, but it was the fact that Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith were right there.
Yeah. And so like knowing that it was like approved and everything, and like, the whole slap thing happened, like maybe they should have ran it through like them. Like I don't really remember, but I remember like it was approved. And so if it was approved, and like, and you're in the industry, so you kind of should know like what goes on. I can't speak for that because I don't know what goes on, but based on like what I heard from that podcast, and it being approved, I feel like he shouldn't have done that. Like,
but here's the thing: it really probably wasn't even just that joke. It wasn't Chris Rock. It was just like the matter of circumstances. Like Will Smith has been through a lot with his wife. You know what I mean? And so
I understand like defending your wife, and absolutely, like if someone's talking trash about me, like I would hope that my husband has my back, you know. Absolutely. But when you're like that famous, like you just have to watch out for what you say, what you do. Like even now myself, not even being like, like a celebrity or anything like that, I get like so much like hate or things like that in my DMs, and I have to be careful of what I say just because I don't want it to go around and people have like this misconception of like who I am, and I can't even imagine like a celebrity like them,
Yeah, you're right. So you're saying that because of the celebrity status, it comes with the territory. Mm-hmm. Will Smith should, because he's been in the game for a while, he should kind of be used. He should be a veteran to this kind of stuff,
exactly,
right? And not be so affected and not offended by Chris Rock. But Will Smith has been... the first thing, or not the first thing, but like one of the first things was August. What was his name? Augusta Celia, or
with who?
Yeah, August. The other dude that Jada Pinkett Smith had an entanglement with.
Oh, do you August. Know the name?
His name's August.
His name is August. Yeah, he's a singer or something. But anyway, and that was on total display, and Jada Pinkett Smith was like an entanglement, and I calling it what it is, right? Which was an affair, extramarital affair, and also putting Will Smith on blast because like, oh, well, he wasn't there for me, right? So Will Smith's been going through a lot publicly, right? And then to be again publicly at the Oscars shamed is like, he was like, okay, what do I take it? Do I sit back and be a bitch again? You know what I mean?
it was like his last, like
Yeah.
he was up there. It was like his, yeah.
If it was one of the first things that would have been brought up about Jada, like in the media, then he would have been like, all right, brush your shoulder off. Just like he did with August. With August, he had more of a reason to go and slap August.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so true. But what I'm saying is, like, Jada's statement, like, I feel like she should have came out and been like, Will Smith, like, my husband is not a violent person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's
Yeah.
not let this, like, this situation,
That's kind of true.
like, affect his reputation. Like,
Yeah.
we all know throughout the years, like, who he really is. And I feel
Yeah.
like she should have, like, stepped up and been like, my man's not like that.
Yeah, I feel like her video came off of like, you know, I have alopecia and these are the people that are suffering. Like, kind of still saying like what he did was messed up or what he said
Kinda
was
like
messed up.
justifying.
Like justifying him because in her video, like that's what she talked about. She brought like what 20 pictures of other people that have alopecia. So it kind of still seems like what you said is still wrong. Kind of situation.
Yeah.
But it's life. We're gonna get over it and move on.
Yeah.
Hurt people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Can't deny that. Okay, great. Let's see. So let's move on to the next thing. So speaking of toxic females,
I was just thinking that she's toxic.
let's see. So
we've been all over this one.
So Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, the whole fucking media is going crazy over this. Obviously, it's a distraction from the Russian-Ukrainian war, but we're gonna get into it for a little bit. So Johnny Depp just won.
Yes, he did.
$15 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like $13 million after taxes. Yeah. So he won, and I never paid too much attention to it. But basically, it all stems from basically they did have a relationship before, right? Mm-hmm. They kind of actually left their partners to be with each other, right? Mm-hmm. Toxic as fuck. Red flag number one. Then a couple years go by. Johnny Depp has like a spiral out of control, and then they divorce or something like that, or they split up, and then she comes out in an interview saying that actually I was living through hell when I was with Johnny Depp, and that got put out in an article, and that article got published. And Johnny Depp didn't like it, and because Amber Heard said something like I was going through like some crazy abusive trauma or something like that. But Johnny Depp didn't like it, sued her and sued her for defamation. Like, hey, you're making me look out like a fucking crazy motherfucker, and like the spokesperson for abuse. So then. He just won that, right?
Yeah, he
apparently.
did. Mm-hmm. Today, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what's your take on the whole situation? Do you think that... Because this is kind of like... Amber Heard feels like she's being like silenced.
Yeah.
Or like she was wrong about speaking out against it, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a signal to women to not be speaking out because this is what will happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's so sad. Like,
interesting.
But
she also sounds toxic as fuck.
I hope that like in this scenario, like she's not using that. Like how do I explain this? Like, you know, like I hope she's not using that. Like, women shouldn't speak out because this is what happens. Like, that's such a bad message. Like, I feel like you should always speak out. You know, like in her scenario, like it's so different. Like, you know.
Oh, if I could add, she did sue him once before, or they had and then they already had a legal entanglement, and they settled out of court, and then after the settlement, they both came out with a statement saying that they basically both kind of were lying, and it wasn't true what they were saying. Both him being manipulative and her, or him being abusive and her being manipulative. Anyway, so
who do you believe?
I don't believe any of them. I could care less about this. But what I do care about is that message that Amber Heard is kind of saying that like women aren't being heard, because there was like a hashtag Me Too thing with Harvey Weinstein and all that. So, I mean, women are being heard now for sure. her situation is a little special.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're shining so much light on her case. Like, that's all I hear about in the media.
Yeah, well, they purposely, so, you know, they're in California, but I forgot where they're doing the case, Virginia. So they purposely chose to do it in Virginia so that it could be on the media, so that it's all like a lawyer tactic thing. So they were trying to put it on the media so that the audience, like viewers, us, could look at it and kind of like have our own perception of like who's telling the truth and who's not. And then like ultimately, you know, they're not supposed to, but it's inedible or whatever, for the jurors not to like, you know, listen to outside media, although they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But that was like the whole tactic of it. Like living in California, you're you know, like when you go to court, it's not on TV, but they specifically went to Virginia and had the case filed over there so that it would be on TV.
So it would get media attention. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it would help their case.
Yeah.
They deserve the Toxic Award of the Year, I think. You know what I mean? Putting all their business out there. Like, how would you even let your lawyer do that to you? You know what I mean? I'd be like, what are they trying to prove?
Because I think like Amber Heard was like, yeah, like I'm down to do that because I'm gonna win, and he's like, no, I do want to do that because I know I'm gonna win. Petty. You know, and then ultimately he's the one that won because who loves him?
And he won big, 13 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my husband was just telling me, because you know how they both wrote like a post today on social media, and we noticed that Johnny Depp has like 10 million likes versus Amber Heard has like what, 10,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She came out kind of looking pretty bad on this one. I'm not saying Johnny Depp is innocent either. Like that dude, like he was spiraling out of control. Like everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure with that, like came some bad moments, you know what I mean, in the relationship. Really horrible moments. You know, sometimes when being in a toxic relationship and having those horrible moments, you develop kind of crazy emotions, like where you like, oh, he loves me because he hits me kind of deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he's risking it all.
Yeah,
That means he really loves me. Isn't that the most toxic?
That's so bad. And I hate to say that, like, women out there that go through that think that that's normal, you know, like, this is why, like, I made the Mad Girls Club, you know, so you can share your story and I can tell you, like, that isn't normal. Mm-hmm. That is not love, you know.
No, that is something else.
Exactly. And, like, women being so naive that they can't see red flags or manipulation, you know, like, I'm gaslighting, like, I myself didn't even know those things existed or what that looked like either. Yeah. Being in previous toxic relationships, you know, like I didn't know. Now that I'm older and I'm wiser and I understand and I can see it better, you know, I want other women to see that too. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like women now are like on a reverse role now. Like we're on it. Like if anything, like there's more like player women at this point than there is player men. Like y'all are taking a seat now. Yeah. Like y'all listening to us.
Exactly. The fuck? What the fuck?
Yes. That's so true.
Because women are just like, we're fed up with all the shit. You know? Exactly.
Being loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Nah. Como que? You guys get your... Just kidding.
But, I mean, I feel like that's what happens when women just get, you know, in these toxic relationships. Like, it fucks with you and, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? Men are driving away women to become lesbians.
Yeah.
I feel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because they're like...
if this doesn't work out, I'm going to turn into one too. Just kidding.
You're at your last straw. Would you say you've been through a couple of toxic relationships? You said you have, right?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I heard about this one chick. Hey, baby. It's about to get intense right now. I heard about this one chick
She's like women empowerment.
Yeah, all about women empowerment.
Right.
They say that a dude that gets like a girl as a daughter, like the first kid, like he did something wrong to women, or it's got a payback or karma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you believe it 100%?
I believe it. Wow. I believe that 100%. Like, you know, like that Spanish saying goes like, what you don't want in your house is what you're going to receive. Oh, you know, like what like parents also say, like, you know, what you did to me, your daughters, you're gonna repay it with your children, like 3 times more.
Yeah,
That's scary.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm up for it.
Get ready. She's looking at you. She's like, "You sure?"
I think when you're young, it's hard to like. I think when you're young, it's a little bit harder to respect women because like when you're young, like I'm talking about teenage years, like you're fucking gone off your ass because every fucking day you have a boner. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, I just want to get some. I just want to, and like there's all these girls at school, and there's all these girls at school. It's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Guys are like that, and girls are not like that. We're more like, oh, you're doing that? Oh, that means you love me. Oh my God, I want to be with you forever, you know? And then that's when the girl ends up going through like these different phases of being with the wrong men. And then, you know, the girl ends up like, just like their personality just ends up changing, you know, like they start accepting things that shouldn't be accepted. They think it's okay. Or, you know, like who you hang around with is, you know, tells a lot about you. And I feel like being in a relationship with the wrong person too can like alter who you are.